Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Influence Podcast. I'm Jordan Banderas, and before we begin, don't forget to hit that follow, subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my episodes. So, I had an epiphany recently that made me realize how important it is to navigate day-to-day situations. And let's face it, it's not a walk in the park. I understand why many people choose to remain silent instead of engaging in conversations about the uncertain world that we live in, like the economy, politics, which I totally get. Those are totally hard conversations to have, especially after the pandemic. But this is happening even in social interactions. And I honestly think that it's hurting our relationships, and it's also making us feel more and more alone. But I refuse to be one of those people. So let's go over this on today's episode, right? But let me ask you this. Let me start with this. Have you ever felt the need to bite your tongue to avoid sounding rude, even when someone compliments your appearance? Oh, I've been there. A while back, I was donating plasma, and one of the technicians said to me, "Hey, I like your t-shirt," just to make conversation, right? When she said that, I didn't know how to answer. At first, I was like, is she hitting on me? Oh my gosh, I'm wearing my wedding ring. How come she's hitting on me? Like, all of this shit went through my head. And even if she was hitting on me, what could I have said back? I like your gown. You know, like, I like your face mask. I like your face shield. Like, what the fuck? You know, I didn't know what to say. And I didn't really want to say anything about liking anything that she was wearing on her body, like her hair, her smile, or anything like that, because I didn't want her to think that I was hitting on her or that I was a fucking creep, which happens a lot. Like, those technicians get hit on all the fucking time. But then, this is where things change, because she asked me what book I was reading. And I told her what it was. And instead of keeping the conversation going, I started to read the book because I didn't know what else I should say. And I was like, what the fuck? How come I can't conversate? And then she walked away, and I noticed that she was being friendly with everyone. It wasn't just me. It was with everyone. And because I started paying attention, I also realized that a lot of other guys were having the same facial expression as me. They were like, I don't know what to do. What should I say? Am I going to be in trouble? Oh my gosh. Just like that. And I mean, it may look funny, but doing this has a significant downside. You risk becoming a muted version of yourself. You're going to start missing out on good conversations. You're going to start feeling alone. There's so many things that are going to happen if you start doing this. And the worst part is that you can also do this to your family and everyone around you. This is not just with strangers. It happens with those closest to you. And I know this, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I did this to my wife. I did this to her, and I know it hurt her. So when I got back home, I told my wife about what happened. She asked me, how come you couldn't talk to the tech when you love talking to people? Which I do. So I explained that I only talk to people I know well and trust, or people that have been around me for a while, that know that even though I may sound rude, I'm not being rude. Because I avoid approaching strangers due to the fact that I don't want to sound rude or disrespectful, which I've been told a lot growing up that that's exactly how I fucking sound. Right? However, after talking to my wife, I realized that I shouldn't be afraid of approaching people, and neither should you. You just need to learn how to approach others properly. And here's how I do it. I did. Here's how I did. I want to actually give you these steps so you can actually be able to approach others and don't mute yourself and still be able to conversate and have meaningful relationships, which I honestly think this is what we need right now, especially after the pandemic. There's been so much hate, so much discord, so much aggression. So I think it's better for us to just communicate and tone down the aggressiveness, don't you think? But first things first, you gotta know yourself and your emotions. It's important to find out what's causing those bad feelings. So let's say someone rejects you or rejected you in the past, and you're scared of being labeled as creepy or getting recorded and plastered all over social media for having an awkward interaction with someone, even though you were just being friendly, like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, right? He's awkward. He's always having awkward interactions with people on the show. So I honestly think we can all relate to him. But anyway, how does that make you feel? Because those are real emotions that people are going through right now. And those negative feelings come from somewhere in your past where someone you knew or wanted to get to know might have done that to you. Or you have seen all of these videos online of people being labeled creepy and perverts and everything like that when they were just trying to be themselves. And now it's coming back to haunt you, right? You're like, I don't want to be labeled like that. I don't want to be recorded for saying hi to a girl or just trying to conversate, I've seen those videos. And I actually have helped a lot of my clients figure this out. Because again, like I said, I honestly think that we don't know how to approach certain people, certain situations that people are going through, and we need to change that. And once you figure out why you feel about approaching people the way you do, you gotta start practicing being yourself. That's very important. You gotta be yourself. And who better to do that than with your spouse or your actual partner? Since you're spending most of the time with them, might as well bring them into this journey of yours, don't you think? But you gotta let them know that you're practicing being yourself so you can be more approachable and be able to approach others. They need to understand that because this is extremely important. And the reason behind that is that they'll see a side of you that they have never seen before. They don't know that side of you. Probably you have been muted your whole life, like I have been, and all of a sudden you start being yourself. You start sounding a little bit more rude, no filter, and your spouse, your friends, your partner, they might take that too hard and they may get offended. And you don't want to come off as rude or anything like that. And I want to make sure that you understand this because I have messed up so many times with my wife until she realized that I was just being myself and that she could tell me when I sounded rude because I wouldn't be mad. So remember this. You need to be yourself with your family before trying it with your closest friends. Be transparent and tell them the same thing you told your partner or your spouse. It won't be a cakewalk. Again, this is fucking hard and it won't happen overnight. It will take a considerable amount of time. However, and this is very important to understand, once you can achieve this with your friends and family, you will become more approachable and open towards strangers. And you will also learn not to be afraid of sounding rude because you'll always be able to own up to your own words by reflecting on them. And if the other person doesn't accept it, deep inside that you're not being rude at all. You're like, my words have been misconstrued. This is what I'm trying to say. This is how it came out. because that's the only way that I was able to express it. And if others don't fucking understand that, too fucking bad. Like, I know I sound rude a lot. Maybe because of my accent, maybe because of how I was raised, I don't know. But I know that I sound rude. But I also know deep inside that I'm not trying to put others down. I'm not trying to sound rude or anything like that. And I know that. And the people that are closest to me, like my wife, my friends, and even coworkers, they know this. And they accept me that way. Because they understand that I'm not trying to make them feel bad. I'm just trying to be funny sometimes. And with my Mexican humor, it sounds rude. But taking this route on working on how to become approachable and approach others helped me battle my feelings of loneliness, rejection, sadness, and even anger, because now I can approach my emotions and others as well. And if someone says something rude, let's say towards Mexicans or anything like that, I don't get offended as easily anymore, because I'm like, dude, you don't know me, and probably you never had an interaction with a Mexican or anything like that. You just believe what you see on TV or however you feel for whatever reason. So you don't know me. And what I want to tell you is that if you decide to try this, it might help you a lot, especially if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling rejected, if you feel awkward, if you feel like you're a loner. Like, there's so many feelings that you're going to go through if you're not able to approach people and you feel like you can't have friends at all. So try this with your family, like I said, and then with your friends. And anytime someone says something to you, try to conversate. Just fucking try it. That's how you network. That's how you learn things. That's how you're going to be able to start a business and bring people into your business. You have to do this if you also want to succeed. If you want to change your life, you also have to do this. You have to be more approachable so you can actually change the environment that you're on right now. So you can change the people that you're hanging out with. If the people that you're hanging out with are bad for you, like they're drug dealers, gangsters, users and abusers, all of this, you have to change that if you want to change your life. And if you're not able to approach others, how the hell are you going to do that? Right? That's something to think about. Let's be honest. That's something to think about. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Remember to keep an open mind and engage in respectful discussions in the comments below. And remember to share, like, and subscribe, and hit that notification button to stay tuned for more content. And here are my final thoughts. Learn how to approach others in life, because it will help you meet people that you can learn from. And have a great day.